Okay, so yes, my room's kind of a mess because right now I'm getting stuff prepped for some events that are coming up throughout this month. I currently have myself signed up to 4 different events throughout the month of August. Right now, as we speak, by the time this video, by the time at the time of me filming this video, it's late July. So by the time you guys are seeing this, it might already be August. I have no idea. Um, anyway, there's like a lot of things that are happening or has happened over the years in the book community that I was never aware about. And there are some that I have been aware about, and we can attest that I don't know too much. I'm not the type of person that really follows along with drama a lot, but when I do hear about drama, it's either probably weeks, months, or even years past the thing. And in a lot of the cases I'm actually going to be covering, um, we can attest like some of them I've heard like days after, some of them I've heard months after, even weeks after. And I just want to kind of cover about as much as I can so you guys can know like, hey, I'm not really into the drama, but like the only type of drama that I'm actually ever into is the one that I'm actually directly involved or somewhat indirectly involved at some point. I you get my point. Okay, so I want to cover this one specific article that was written by NBC News last month, and it was mainly about the book Beverly. Now, apparently that there are accusations of plagiarism. Back 2 months ago, it all started with this book called Beverly being released by Laura J. Robert, and she's been pushing it out and stuff like that from what I heard. And there are like accusations of also AI use and bullying as well, and it was covered heavily by Book Talk. But this article was posted up a month after the whole thing started in June 20th of 2025. I'm not sure if this is like the updated date or if this was the initial article date. Kahan Rosenblatt actually covered it. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the name. This particular drama was about how this book was released and the accusations and how Laura was trying to push it out in Book Talk in the TikTok community. And apparently a lot of people were calling Laura out because it seemed like a it was like plagiarized by the book called Obsessed. If you see on the right, it was written by R.J. Lewis. I don't know too much about the information. As far as from what I've reading, it's like there's a whole bunch of stuff. Um, so she covers it. Let me see if I could like try to go back. Um, but as far as I
The phone.
know,
She goes, but we have to talk about kissing Jacob.
okay.
And you guys, this is from Beverly. And she goes, but we have to talk about Cal on the phone with her, like her
Um,
best friend. And this is
so
like, you cannot
Lol-
miss this. So this is from a
Lola covers this like expeditiously. She's been covering it. There's some other videos as well. Here we go. Logging on to Book Talk this morning to see Ali Hazelwood has been bullied off social media. No, there like also Haley Hazelwood got pushed out of you know like Instagram because apparently there was some stuff about her thoughts behind the Hunger Games series where she was calling out um she didn't like the partner that Katniss was working with during the Hunger Games, and she much preferred the guy that Katniss was looking initially like hooking up with um, during like before she offered herself as tribute. So I thought that's a whole another whole like drama in and of itself, right? That was like within the article as I think as well. I didn't really read it. But as far as I know, from what I'm reading, it does say that Beverly was removed from Amazon. Still remains on Goodreads, but um, a lot of people have been giving it a 1-star review from what I'm reading in the article. Um, and apparently Amazon like uh hasn't given a response to the comment, like response to any comments, like hasn't responded to anything from the time that this article was posted up. But yeah, it's kind of weird how this kind of took a turn, right, from for this stolen work of the book, right? It sucks, really. So the next thing I want to talk about is how people are pretending to be the opposite gender. So when people create pen names for themselves, we can actually kind of see, like, from here, forget George Eliot. Now it's male authors disguising their gender to sell more books. And this was written like 8 years ago. You could see it from the Guardian. It's an article that was written then by um, Paula Kokoza, and this was written July 18th of 2017. And this you could tell, like, Riley Sager was a pen name for a guy named Todd Ritter. And I didn't know anything about this. I think I owned like a single book from this pen name, and it was kind of interesting because, like, it reminded me of particularly J.K. Rowling when she started writing the Running Grave. You could see, like, her pen name after writing the Harry Potter series was called Robert Galbraith, and she tried to pull it off as her being like, oh, I wanted to kind of write something that's outside of the Harry Potter series, but she could have done this, like, while still keeping her name on the series, right? Mind you, everybody thought she was already a dude when she wrote the Harry Potter series. It was only after it was only after she started doing, like, book tours and stuff like that that people understood that she was a woman who wrote the series. And the only way she was able to, like, get people to, like, read her books was make sure that her first and middle name were, like, in initials, so then people, there was, like, the mystery of people kind of, like, people not understanding that, like, hey, she's like, they wanted that was the whole publicity stunt, like, her like using JK as her, like, her initials, so then people won't think that, oh, this is a woman that actually wrote the series. It was, like, easier for her to just get book deals because of that. And, like, people pretending like, hey, this is actually a dude, but in reality it was a woman that wrote it all along. And mind you, she's the same person that actually says some very, very anti-trans stuff, while, like, I think while they're being like I think, like, a trans character in one of her books, as like, under her pen name Robert Galbraith. From what I understand, like, she said some very harsh things that doesn't sit well with me, because as far as you guys know, I do support people in the trans community. It's weird how that kind of works. And mind you, I'm also part of the LGBTQ community as well. So it's kind of interesting how that kind of turned out, and seeing something like that or hearing something like that, even reading about it on X back when it was still Twitter, it was weird. And not and then there's also, like, a video that With Cindy had covered. If you guys see this video right here, where it does say not all men, just the ones pretending to be sapphic women for book sales. There are claims where some men are allegedly pretending to be women that are part of the LGBTQ community or in this part of the sapphic community, and they're writing books to fit that kind of sapphic feel to get extra currency. So it's like, or extra money or extra sales on books under a pen name, supposedly. There's not any actual proof that this is actually going on, of course, because nobody could directly, uh, directly prove that the person who is a sapphic woman is actually this straight dude, right? So it, like, there's no way to kind of prove that. So like this is like all, these are all like the different, like, just a small bit of like the actual book related community. And there was also a video of someone who was covering this dude on TikTok who actually just got into the book community, book talk community, and in just a short period amount of time got a 2 book deal, and a lot of people were giving him a lot of flack. Now, the fact that someone was so like someone was so quick to get a book deal like shortly after entering into um kind of like the book talk community, it doesn't happen too often. You have to have like a crazy amount of luck to actually have that happen. And there was someone who actually covered it. um I don't remember her name, but I do remember watching the video that she made about this book talker, and I was like, that I can only imagine myself actually getting to that at one point if I ever get into the realm of writing books. And that's something that I've never really took into perspective, like, hey, just some people have like they get the really good short stick of like a career where they can turn it from like, hey, I'm working a 9 to 5 to like, hey, look, I'm actually a full-time author, full-time writer. And it you can get like a crazy amount of luck to actually have that happen. And like a lot of people in this community I've seen like much prefer to have like drama happen, or like much rather like see shit go sideways, just so then they can actually be like, oh yeah, did you hear this happening? Did you hear this happening? It's like, it's kind of weird. It's like, um it feels like there's more drama than the Albanian community. And mind you, my parents are from Kosovo, so I'm Kosovar Albanian American. I think there's more drama than anything I've ever heard from the Albanian community, and that is saying a lot. And I'm the type of person, I take after my father, where it's like, I don't really give a shit about the drama, and if I like, I'll probably recognize you by face but not by name. Like, I'm that type of person where it's like, if we're not communicating often, I barely know you. It's like, I think that's how I am as a person, really. But yeah, I think like more people are more worried about like the tea, like like more concerned about hearing the tea being spilt rather than focusing on like what books they would like to read, right? And people are more focused on like what's popular rather than what is actually considered like a good book in your own opinion, right? Like a lot of people are like kind of trying to like give me options of like, I'll read the Hunger Games or read A Court of Thorns and Roses or the Throne of Glass series. I'm like, I'd much rather read something from Star Wars or Star Trek. They sound good, but like, Star Trek, Star Wars, something from the World of Warcraft like book series. I much rather want to read those. I'm that type of chick. Like, I'll get to those books later. Like, I'm trying to read something from that was written in a memoir. Like, and it could be the least popular memoir to date, right? Like, I could be reading something about early Irish literature, and I will find that more intriguing than like what the next YA fiction. Like, I've read Mexican Gothic. That's a really good book. Do like would I read it again? Maybe. But in the end of the day, it's like I much rather read like something that was written by the Grimm brothers, like the Grimm tales or the tales from the Grimm brothers. Like I much rather read that than like be able to like get into the it become part of the it scene. Really, like if you guys have watched my video talking about like which books I plan to read over the course of like next month or so, then you guys know like I'm not really I'm not really the type of person that would really like just sit down and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to read this," and then read it within like 3 days and be like, "I don't remember exactly half the stuff that I read because I just skimmed through. I only just read the parts that I liked." Or read it so fast I don't remember anything that I read at all. Like it's kind of like one of those things where it's like I like to read a book, and each new chapter that I actually read, I'm like, okay, let me write out what I thought about each chapter, and get back to the next chapter. Like that's what I like to do. I like to take my time, and I like to read it thoroughly. That's just me. Living a simple life, running a full time business and small business, mind you, and also reading when I can. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for this video. Would I talk about more stuff? I don't know. We'll see how things go. For now, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your time. I hope you guys like, subscribe, comment, and don't mind me while being a goofball behind the scenes. So, yeah. Bye bye.